Hidayat TV. My question is, we majority in West Midlands, we are Kashmiri voters, and what I've been hearing from everybody here, that when the valuation be finished on other side province in India, when that's gonna be ending, where's the human rights for that? People being murdered there, everything. So we'd like to know when human rights or European Parliament, when they're gonna raise the point to from any
Okay, thank you.
Well, I spoke to our Shadow Foreign Secretary Douglas Arnder about this issue, and we are very committed to doing everything we can to deliver peace and to respect human rights. And look, it's going to take all sides to come around the table, and it's very frustrating. It's taken a long time, and I think sometimes in our world we can sometimes get into a mindset which says, because we've not solved this problem for so long, maybe it can't be solved, and we think that's not good enough, and the British government must redouble its efforts and do more to try and get people around the table and find that peace. I know this is a very important issue, and there's obviously very strong views and across this community, across the West Midlands, but it's something which I think past Labour governments have worked hard on these issues. I know that it's something both Jack Straw and Robin Cook, as Foreign Secretary, were very committed to, and then David Miliband and Margaret Becker after him. It's something which will be really at the top of our agenda.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Gentleman here.
My name is Asif Nehmul. I belong to Urdu paper Daily Jam. My question is, because large number of Kashmiri and Pakistan community live in Birmingham who vote Labour all ways and past from long time, and because Britain is the alliance with the United States of America, what's your party policy drone attack on Pakistan? Because the result of that is a large number of innocent people they died there, and there is a human violation. So large number of people vote for the Labour Party as well. So what's your party policy? People want to know.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I think that I understand that very many people in the community voting for Labour, and I know these issues of foreign policy are very important, but also this is a community which is worried about jobs for young people and the cost of living and energy prices as well, and so there's a range of issues which people will be looking at. On that, those issues, I just think we have to respect international institutions. We need to respect international law. That is an obligation on all countries, the smallest and the biggest and the most powerful. And I think it's very important that we are potentially a friend to all, but no country should be too important for us to challenge if we thought they were doing the wrong thing. And I hope that's the approach we'll continue to take. Want to add anything more?
Yeah, and the key thing is for a British government of any colour is to make sure that we support the Pakistani government. And at the last elections, it was the first time in the history of Pakistan that you had the handover from one civilian government to another. So there's a huge stride made forward in terms of support for democracy in that country. But being a friend to Pakistan means helping Pakistan unlock the potential of its own people. The Pakistani people are very talented, and as soon as we have better education across the whole of the Pakistani population, particularly for its women, Pakistan will be better able to stand on its own feet, and that is ultimately how Pakistan will be able to make its voice heard in the international community as well. And the Labour Party and British governments actually of all party political persuasions have always been friends of Pakistan, and that's certainly something that we're going to make sure that we carry on speaking up for in the future as well.
Absolutely.
That's a question from over here.
I'm Gulnam Singh from the Sikh channel. I'd like to ask you two linked questions concerning the Sikh community in the UK, but also the Sikh community in India. You'll be aware that this year we are commemorating the 30th anniversary of the attack on the Golden Temple, and you will also be aware that the British government are implicated in at least planning, if not executing, that operation. But also subsequently in that year, and in the subsequent years, something like 150,000 Sikhs were massacred through state-sponsored terrorism. And the Sikhs are united that they're unhappy with the Cabinet Secretary's inquiry, and they're wanting a much wider wider-ranging inquiry, and also Lord Singh has asked for an international level, some kind of justice commission. So I'd like to ask you what your views are about these demands, but also the internal Sikh affairs. Sikhs have been campaigning for many years to be included in the census so that we could be counted. And as you know, if you're not counted, it doesn't count. There are many problems that the Sikh community are facing, social problems, health problems. Yes, we are successful, but there is a hidden problem that we want to uncover. So what's your position on both of these demands?
I think if I can answer the first one, and ask Shabana to do the second one. On the first one, it was a terrible atrocity, and there is, I know, a huge frustration that we haven't had full answers. And we've supported the investigation by Mr. Hayward, the Cabinet Secretary, but it's not covering the full history. We've not seen the full release of documents. I understand very well that the view that many people feel that this is, in the end, may need to go beyond a Cabinet Secretary inquiry to an independent inquiry. And that's something which we, Labour, have pressed William Hague, the Foreign Secretary, on whether he thinks that's going to be required. We need more information, a broader scope of inquiry, and we need to get to the bottom of this, because you know, the UK government is allegedly implicated. We need to know, and we need to know the answers. And I'm afraid this is taking too long. So we're very much hoping that William Hague will accelerate this process, and we're going to keep pushing for the answers that you want and the community wants.
If I just come in on the point in relation to the census, as